So Kedarnath says, I've been here for 2 saptas. We'd have them on Guru Purnima or Baba's birthday, I don't know, different celebrations. And during the sapta, I've had many new experiences. There's so much Shakti, so much energy that have spiritual experiences. But after the sapta, I've not been able to hold on to any of these experiences. Certain experiences came all of a sudden, but they've never recurred. What is the reason for this? I've also felt that the chanting makes it easier for me to control my mind and senses. So, trigger alert. Baba answers in quite an unexpected way. Let me say something about Kedar. Kedar was always standing at Baba's, he was on duty at Baba's post there. And Kedar was in our vernacular, a very peculiar fellow. And he's very talkative and peculiar, very emotional and expressive and so on. And he later became a Swami. He was an Indian fellow. But Baba really tears into him now, okay? So that's why I say trigger alert. Baba says, why did you let the sapta slip through your hands? Why didn't you hold it firmly? It is only because you let the sapta slip from your mind that you fell into that condition. So it's all your fault. I've observed something extremely funny. That is, those people who apparently go into intense states of meditation and who have all kinds of kriyas, who shake their heads violently and do all kinds of things, are usually the ones who are talking big and saying things which they don't even understand themselves. Now, in those days particularly, because of the awakened Kundalini, there would be all these involuntary movements. And some of the people, very peculiar people, often would have all kinds of movements. Kedar had extreme movements. And so Baba's really getting into him. And anybody who had these movements would have been chastened by this answer, I would think. He says, during my secret inspection rounds, I have seen that in public, these people make a show of meditation, but among themselves, they indulge in gossip. So I don't know how seriously to take your words, whether to believe that what you're saying is true or just another pretense. There always had to be a story behind this, that he would be roasting him so badly. Or even possible that he's roasting somebody else and Kedar is kind enough to stand in. You never know what was going on there. But there was something going on because I can smell it. There are people who claim that they get deeply interested in chanting, but when they get free time, I don't see them chanting, I see them gossiping. I haven't heard you chanting Hare Ram, Hare Krishna during your free time. I hear you talking about what the food is cooked in the kitchen, the ingredients, where the visitors put their shoes, and what the elephant eats, where the elephant's food comes from, what Venkapa is busy with. Venkapa is one of the managers of the ashram. And what those other people could be writing about. People, because there would always people be taking notes, what they're writing about. These are the different themes of your holy satsang. And that doesn't convince me that you're really interested in what you say you're interested in. People may think that I retire to my room and I'm not aware of anything. They are mistaken. And don't you know that I watch every little detail? Don't think that I'm meditating all the time on myself. I can also meditate on you and what's happening in the ashram. And I can see very clearly how a certain person who happens to be writing dozes off in the middle of writing, leans back and has a comfortable sleep. I'm also aware exactly what people are doing. So this is like, I remember my experience was caught between high comedy, because Bob was being incredibly funny, like a stand-up comic, and terror and misery, because he was frying people. And whatever he fried anyone, I always got fried. Of course, I would always say he's talking about me. He may be saying, but he's talking about me. I knew it. I don't see people sitting in silence indrawn. If you've really begun to enjoy the inner nectar and find it hard to understand, I find it hard to understand how your taste for it can decrease. Those poor fellows who are not able to meditate keep quiet because they do not know that they're not able to meditate. It is only those who seem to be meditating intensely, who talk in a certain manner about meditation, who seem to be the most disturbed, the most agitated about various things. One who has genuine interest in the divine name and chanting would not be a chatterbox. And a chatterbox would never be able to enjoy the nectar of the divine name. There is no point in just saying that you're having a certain experience. You should really have that experience. And if you're having that experience, if you're really sipping the inner nectar, there would be complete contentment, so much so that you would become silent and still, and all actions would fall away from you. Now he gives the upadesh, the teaching. Talk less. Don't sit for satsang with others. Don't gossip. Do not listen to anyone talking ill of others. What makes you think that malicious gossip is as nectarian as the mantra? Therefore, repeat the mantra intensely. So that's what we were there. We were there to do intense spiritual work, and Baba kept the fire blazing all the time.